As in, I did for 10 years. So,
Oh.
yeah, so like different things.
So you act
Cannot act. Cannot act.
Then he acting.
Yeah.
Cool.
I used to do Chinese stand-up comedy. Like, but the traditional one. Like, it's called 相声.
Oh, the two people.
Yeah, it's like one or two of them. So it's like Chinese stand-up comedy.
Oh really?
Yeah, but it's olden days.
Oh, like
they used to wear the they used to wear the the Chinese New Year thing, right? But like that's our dress. What we wear for the
But your hair was half one.
can also still get on lah. Don't need that lah.
But then it's like you all always must rhyme one, right? As in it's a whole
Deep, yeah.
poem.
It's not a really poem. Sometimes it's a script.
But it's very interesting one.
Yeah, it's
and then
fun,
we'll start talking faster and faster and faster.
It's funny, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Then French.
So we start French.
Oui.
French stand-up.
Oui, oui.
Croissant.
Song. Je m'appelle.
So the last alphabet in each French word right is silent.
So if
Yeah.
NTU was
So
French,
there's
it would be Lupus.
yeah,
If NTUSU was French, that would be
just NTUS, yeah. As in the pronunciation of every word. Yeah.
So then why do they have it there? Why do they have the letter?
Oh.
It's
Very
there because that's one of the ways to determine whether or not
I wonder
the
what's
word is
inside though.
masculine or
I
feminine.
can,
wires,
no,
cables.
I can see
Because
got
that
card,
then
got
changes
card,
things.
the
That
magic card
changes
inside.
everything.
Very nice.
Nice, right? Like professional.
Yeah, professional.
The cargo pants.
Yeah. But Melcy is got I behind, right?
Sometimes a lot of things are conditional. There's a lot of instances, right, where this doesn't apply then.
Yeah, how do you know?
The laws are very arbitrary. Like it applies for they'll tell you, so whatever I'm telling you now applies for 80% of the vocabulary. Or the 20%. Oh yeah, those are special cases. You'll learn there at some point.
Oui.
Yeah, and then sometimes there's something called resonance also. So like in between words, right? Basically, maybe if the last word starts with like S and the first word is like A, right, it becomes Z. It's like homo vuvu zapile. It's actually spelled as VOUS APPLES.
Can you see that again? The whole
Homo vuvu zapile.
Okay, if you're gonna do the dry run, you're gonna make it.
But then sometimes
The actual, we should put our phones
Yeah.
not in the frame.
No. Phone and mask over there. Or mask you sit on your mask also can. It's your butt, it's the same.
Yeah, it says on there.
Thank all of you
Thank you so much.
participating. Yes, I hope you enjoyed the session. I'm sure it will be very memorable. Alright, yeah, chance of lifetime of doing this. I think most of you have attended a physical open house.
Yes. You attended 3.
I attended 3.
Okay, we look forward to that day coming again. Challenges, right? But for fun, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, have fun. Thank you.
Are you sharing?
Okay, so you could be as far as States and all that. Last year we actually had viewership from States, from Europe and all.
Oh, nice.
we actually have, if you look at the statistics, United States, we do have people joining you now.
Oh, nice.
Yes. You will travel far.
See you.
Now I'm nervous.
It'll be like 1 a.m. for them.
Yes, willing to join us.
Promote sila.
You say your Como.
No. Shy. Really shy. That means it's a formal way of asking for your name.
Ah.
¿Cómo se llama?
Como?
Me llamo.
Homo vuvu zapile.
Are you preparing for your France trip in 2027?
Hey, do that 2027. That's damn long
I was just so optimistic. 2030, you mean?
Yes, yeah.
So anything, right, she will inform you directly.
Okay. But you get your headphones as well.
Okay, let's start. Once you give us the thumbs up, then we will start. Right?
Who we?
Everyone.
Oh.
Yeah, then make it as per what it's gonna be.
Okay.
Bro, can do crowd control already.
Also, now for
Who
the
even comes here?
unscripted question, will it show on the screen? Or how will it be?
Unscripted question,
Yeah.
right?
I think load up the speaker name in the preview. Yeah,
On
preview.
here?
On here.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But right now we're not going to do
Yeah, lah. Okay.
Is it like is it gonna be like typed out in the document, or are you gonna like pull up the chat box? As in like for the question, like the unscripted one, are you gonna pull up the chat box, or is it gonna be on the document?
It's going to be a question copy pasted. So I'm
On
going
the
to,
Okay, so you guys will pick.
yeah, we will filter, then we will show it.
Can, thank you.
Felix, when you are ready, just inform.
Take the brush, come.
Just the
Tissue.
touch up on the makeup.
Oily, oily.
Oily, oil cleanser.
Oh, this one my sis straight all the way. He see like NCC like that.
I think he needs that foldable chair.
So, as
Oh,
preview,
yeah.
right, don't bring it into the program yet. Just bring up the preview. No, pre-event. Pre-event banner for breakout. Load this up.
The video.
There you go, okay.
No, it's not that one.
The loop one, is it?
The video. I think I remove this one all pages. We already use this one.
Did you say like
Okay.
when we are talking, right? We look at each other or we look at the camera?
Each other.
Each other.
Each other is it?
But can you
Yeah, yeah, mid
Every
show
now and
also.
then, I
Yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome to NTU Open House 2021's breakout session. So I'm Ru Hui, a year 3 student studying business and accountancy, and I'll be your moderator for today. So this is Leon, our friendly NTU mascot. Waves. Unfortunately, Leon is going to be a bit busy as he's preparing for another segment, which is our North Spine tour at 2:15 p.m. later. So do remember to tune in and catch him later during our North Spine tour. Alright, see you later, Leon. So now let's dive straight into our breakout session. So many of you might be a little unsure of what to expect from university or where to go, but don't worry because today we have 5 of our friendly NTU students here to share their experience with you. So we have gathered your questions and categorized them into various sections such as hall life, internships, as well as CCAs. So throughout the session, please feel free to leave any questions you have in the comment section below, and we'll try our best to answer your questions. And if there are any questions left unanswered, don't worry, we'll be answering them on the chat box as well. So without further ado, let's start with a round of introductions from our panelists.
Hi everyone, my name is Asmita and I'm a year 2 student of Public Policy and Global Affairs here at NTU.
Hi everyone, my name is Aloysius and I'm currently in my 3rd year studying mechanical engineering.
Hi everyone, my name is Zafira and I'm a year 4 art design media student specializing in visual communication.
Hello everyone, my name is Guan Peng, a year 2 student in communication, studying in the Wee Kim Wee School of Communication and Information.
Hi, my name is Guan Ying. I'm a year 3 sociology student.
Alright, thanks everyone. So let's start off with a very basic question. Why did you choose NTU? What made you choose it out of all the choices that we have? So maybe we can get GP to share first.
Yeah, I'll share first. I think the open houses really changed a lot of things. So actually, back in my JC days, I actually attended 3 open houses. So in J1, J2, and subsequently when I was deciding on my university, I actually came here 3 times, and I think the vibe was just right. I think the student ambassadors were always very friendly, and they would just always approach me and they say, hey, come join us and things like that. I was so there. But more than that, I think the quality of education was really good. after I got accepted into the School of Communications, I realized that it's actually the top communications college in Asia, and it's one of the best in the world as well. So I'm really proud of that.
Yeah, I think speaking of open house, like I remember when I was in school myself, people from the Office of Admissions actually came down to my school to like share more about NTU and what like studying in NTU is like. Plus, I'd heard a lot of great things about international student life from my brother, who was also a graduate from NTU. And plus, I think for my course, I study public policy, which I think is a very practical way of applying what I learned. So I think that is also what attracted me to studying public policy here at NTU. Yeah.
And for me, I think the reason I chose NTU is because the vast courses that's available. For me, I'm specifically interested in art. So that's why art design media is the perfect course for me. And then my occupation that I was planning to go to is the teacher course, being a teacher basically. So NTU has a program whereby it's a diploma between NTU and NIE. It's a postgraduate diploma in education, PGDE. So I think that is the perfect one for me. Hence why I chose NTU. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I echo what everyone has said so far, but I think for me, it will be more of like, I chose it because of engineering. So I knew I wanted to study engineering, right? And NTU has a strong research focus in engineering, strong niche in engineering. So hence why I chose NTU. And also hearing from seniors who have been to NTU about the student activity, student life, made me really keen on wanting to be a part of this.
I think the hall aspect is something very close to heart. So I think for year 1 and year 2 students, it is you guys get like a priority stay. So if you apply for hall, you do get hall stay, and like so it's not just academics in NTU. There's also campus life and hall life as well. So that's something really fun that other universities don't necessarily have.
Definitely. All right. So that's really nice to hear from everyone. Thank you all for sharing. I hope this inspired some of you to want to pursue some courses here in NTU. And there's really a myriad of opportunities available for students of all different backgrounds. Alright, so now moving on to a very interesting segment. What is your most memorable experience here in NTU? So I'm sure many of us have had our ups and downs in uni, struggles with cats, etc., etc. But I think all of us have experiences which have molded us into better individuals, better leaders, etc. So perhaps we can get Zafira to share about your most memorable experience.
Sure, okay. So just so you know, I'm from NTU Silat. Silat is basically an Indonesian martial art. I've been in it for 4 years. I think that's a whole life, my whole university life, so I'm very dedicated. So the thing which is memorable for me is basically joining competitions, representing the schools, buying. You don't buy medals, you win medals. Yeah, so win medals, you have that sense of being proud to be in NTU. So that's the most memorable for me.
I think I can share also. So I think that in NTU you find a lot of people that do the same things that you do and share the same passion as you do. So I do like playing football, on a very casual level. So in hall, right, I get to meet all my hall friends, and we manage to group together a bunch of people that like to play football, and we play football together. The convenient thing is that because we all stay so close, right, it's very easy to just organize a session so that we can just have a kickball and everything.
For me, I'll have to say it's the union orientation program that I was a part of, when I was a freshman, and I enjoyed the experience so much that I actually came back the next 2 years to join as like part of the organizing committee. So I think, why I enjoyed that was because you get to meet a lot of people from different majors, different halls, right? So it was a really good experience for me to get to know all these people that maybe I wouldn't have had the chance to meet in hall or in school.
So for me, like the most memorable moment was when in my first year, this was pre-COVID, we got the chance, because I was part of my hall jam band also, so we got the chance to perform at North Spine in front of a lot of people. And it was my first time doing so, so I think that's really burned into my memory now. So yeah.
My most memorable experience, I would say, is my year spent in the Students' Union. So the first year I was learning how to do editorial stuff, writing articles and publishing magazines. Then second year I learned how to do more plan activities and events. Then now this year I'm learning to manage committees and people. So yeah, that's something fun.
Alright, thanks all for sharing. Maybe later we can get Asmita to perform for us also. Yeah, alright. So something that I think is universal for all NTU students is we really have that opportunity to engage in different activities and explore our interests. So I think students are a little bit, our incoming freshmen are a little bit confused or don't really know what to expect moving to university from a pre-uni experience. So perhaps we can shift the conversation a little bit to, what are the similarities or differences you guys found transitioning from your pre-university days to your university education. So perhaps we can get Aloysius. Would you like to start first?
I think one key difference that I experienced having come from a JC is actually the freedom, more flexibility to design our own curriculum. So here in NTU we have what we call UEs, which are unrestricted electives, right? So you get to choose from a selection of courses outside of your major. So let's say you could be interested in art, in chemistry or something, and you could take up courses in those areas. So I found that really interesting, and yeah, I'm making full use of those UEs to take up stuff that I'm interested in as well.
Yeah, I heard, you can even take up things like yoga and things like football as a course, right? As a life course. But the idea of freedom that Aloysius mentioned, there's a lot more than that. Like freedom also means, especially for JC students, no more uniforms, right? Yeah. You're just wearing anything that you want. Maybe it's a headache sometimes to decide what you want to wear, but it's really always it's a lot more freedom. I think it feels a lot more independent as well. Your lessons are less structured, and you don't have form classes anymore. So it really forces you to go out and step out of your comfort zone and meet the other people from the courses and really get to know more friends from more diverse backgrounds, which is really very interesting.
Okay. Because I came from a school because I'm from India, so that whole environment of school was quite different to that of Singapore. So it was a little bit difficult adjusting at first because a lot of my coursework here is related to research work and writing work, which is not what I was used to. So I think something that really helped me like transition into academic life here was the fact that we have these core courses that we're meant to take to help us learn these kind of skills to write and to do research. And the fact that there's also the communication cube at the Hive, which where I can seek help from my peers instead of having to go to a professor. So I think that takes the pressure off me a little bit. Yeah.
I think I can talk about from the poly to university transition, right? So as GP mentioned, there's no difference there's not much difference from poly to university. We can still wear what we want in poly, so that's the same. The only thing that's different, I think, definitely it's harder. University is harder, but the only difference is that we have to schedule our own timetable. So meaning we register our own course. There's this period that we call Star Wars. So this is a period whereby you sit in front of your laptop and you camp there to make sure you get the course and classes that you want according to your timetable. So that was something new to me.
I think for me, I'm very different from the rest of my friends here. I came from from the working sphere environment. So it's very different, nothing academic about work, but then I think the skills that I learned from outside, like people skills and talking, more soft skills kind, actually really helped me. So actually before entering uni, right, I didn't even want to join any CC because I wanted to get good grades and stuff and then get out of here, But then I find myself doing a lot of other stuff which I was I don't regret, and I think it's something important that people should take on.
True.
Alright, so thank you everyone for sharing. I think we really have a lot of diverse experiences and insight here. So regardless of wherever you come from, you can come from overseas, you can come from JCs, polys, or even from work experience, and we will always have a spot for you and experiences for you to have. Alright, so we'll be moving on to take one of the live questions that we have. So I think we've got a very, very interesting question. Are there any conducive spaces in NTU for students to study? So I think anyone can take this question. Yeah.
Okay. I'll start. Okay. Okay. So for basically, I'm from art design media. So basically, for our students, ADM students, is that we have our own studios in school. So our own specialization, we have our own cubicles. We have our own room. So basically, for us, we're already settled. That's the best place for us to study. But sorry to say, it's only limited to art design media students. So if you want your own cubicle, come join art design media. So yeah.
No, I don't have my own cubicle, but that's okay. There are a lot of other different places. I spent a lot of time in hall. And in hall itself, there are a lot of different places that you can study as well. You can definitely study in your own room. But apart from that, I'm pretty sure actually every single residential hall that NTU has, actually they all have their own reading rooms. And it's all the quiet space. It's like a working space really for you to use. And it's really quite accessible for everyone. So yeah, that's where I would study.
So for me, I like to separate my hall life from my study life because I don't like to mix. But I think a really good spot would be the Leewinam Library that's in North Spine. But sometimes you don't get spaces, especially during exam periods. But I think the nice part is that there are all these study benches outside, and it's all surrounded by greenery. So it's a nice it's very refreshing to study there. Yeah.
And I think we have quite a couple of libraries actually, right? It's more than just the Leewinam Library.
I think 7?
Yeah, I think 6 of us.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. For me, maybe, I'll just talk about another place that they haven't mentioned. It will be the tutorial rooms, which are open from day to night during the exam period. So that's where I like to go, for deep work when finals are coming and you have to revise.
Okay, we will cut here. We will stop the live stream. The working one last time we stop streams, then we want you guys to have ample rest and drink up.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, what?